this edition of the recording. This day is different, it is special, it is something new at the Redeemed family.
Yeah.
Previously we have had testimonies and things in that line, but today we are talking about music, and in particular instrumentals. Someone once said that music and worship is more than just a song, and today I have come to understand that as we stand there to sing, there's so much more that brings us into that presence. And so today we have an amazing team, the group of people that makes worship another experience here at the Redeemed of the Lord. So I'll quickly let them introduce themselves briefly, and then we will get into the conversation of how instruments happen, how they do their ministry as they serve the Lord, and how they impact us as people and brethren that love the Lord. So quickly, let's introduce ourselves. I'll start with Jesse right there at the front, who plays the acoustic.
My name is Jesse Mulunji, and I do electric guitar here at ROLEC.
Yes.
Yep. Wow.
My name is Dennis Kasule. I play the piano and sometimes the background.
And he's also our director, so
Yeah.
he doesn't like to say that.
My name is Iga Joe, and I play bass.
My name's Jimmy Kwagala, and I'm married with one beautiful wife. She's called Natalia Agnes Kwagala. I love you so much wherever you're watching from.
Amen.
Yes. Talking about marriage, okay, my name is Ivan Mokisajita, and I'm also a married man to a very beautiful wife called Margaret. Yes. Yeah, and that's all from me.
Yes.
And our youngest instrumentalist.
Okay, by name's Iga Jonathan. I do drums at ROLEC, and I got to Mengo.
Which class are you?
Senior 3.
It's an honor to have you. Thank you all for coming. So we'll quickly get into the questions and the different thoughts and the things that disturb the people out there. They want to know. So I'll start with our director. There's this thing, abantu ne babuuza, do instrumentalists balokoka babelayo? So I just want you to explain to us what it means to be an instrumentalist but serving in ministry. Kitegeeza ki?
Okay. Instrumentalists are also human beings. They are like any one of us.
Saved by the same blood.
They go through the same challenges. And some are saved, and some of them may not be saved, or may be that they found themselves in church. Maybe someone was born in church, and he happened to be following daddy's religion. But those who are saved, they are really saved. And I cannot deny that there are those ones who are really, who really do not understand why they are where they are. Yeah, and some are in the process of learning or knowing God. They have not reached there. But some really do get saved.
So
and they fear God.
Before I go on, I want to understand. Considering you are the director, surely you are a leader for a reason. So what does it mean for somebody to have understood God and be in instruments? For you, where do you draw the line? Personally, because this is an opinion of somebody. So as a leader.
It is very tricky because this is a skill like any other skill.
Yeah.
Like a driver, you can be a driver. You can be a footballer,
a singer,
but
a dancer.
You can be a dancer, but saved. But you may be a footballer who is not saved, or a driver who drives for the church, but you are not saved. You see that thing. So sometimes we don't get the line. We just assume that being in church playing instruments automatically takes you to be saved. But some people may be in church, maybe for money, maybe they pay them, maybe for fun. Playing instruments is sometimes fun. We enjoy what we do. it's one of the things people do and they enjoy and get money at the same time.
Surely. So
Yes.
now that you tell me that, I know that Jimmy here has something to say about righteousness and music. Yes.
Well, I will also say something about that.
Mm.
At times we tend not to understand, and we as the instrumentalists, many people fail to understand us because of our actions.
Antibabuza, muwayo.
We don't give in charge. But I will say like this, being an instrumentalist, you also should be a born again. Because if you're leading people who are spirit-filled, then you should be spirit-filled. Or else, they will get to know that you're playing by skill, but having not the Holy Spirit. Meaning, you should also find time of prayers. You pray. You seek God. You pray to God to give the anointing. You keep yourself pure. Because at times you might find people with scenarios like instrumentalists are the people that are so fornicators in church, are the people that run to this girl, to the other.
The drumists.
The fact is that there are those that do such stuff. But a born-again instrumentalist should also be pure and holy. Because our Lord that we serve requires that of us. So we should also keep ourselves pure and righteous, that we might give that is pleasant and acceptable before our Lord.
Okay, so before I go on, you've brought out that, and I'm sure Ivan has something to say about that, because he started by saying we are human beings.
Yeah.
So that means we go through challenges and we struggle every day, even though we have the Lord. That makes our struggle a little different. Evan.
Well, like what he said, you need to, as an instrumentalist, you need to have this personal encounter with Jesus.
Okay.
And if you don't have that spark in you, you can never start this fire of Christianity inside of you, and you cannot even give it to the rest. So one person said, some when we were in studio, that a band is as strong as the weakest person.
That's true.
So by a band I mean the vocalists and the what. So if at all you are not keeping your position well, the enemy is using your side to access us. So it is really challenging in a way. I can give you a clear example. One time as I was growing up in ministry, I was really getting to be talented and that kind of thing. And I thought, why not get something out of this talent? Because, instrumentalists, we have a challenge of being on demand. Actually, the problem that we have right now as Christian instrumentalists is the very same church, our churches. You see, this church comes and visits your church, and they find you a very talented instrumentalist, and they're like, how much do they pay that one? We can't do anything to have him in our church. So that alone puffs up this minister, and before you know it, you think you're very important. You're more important than the rest.
Yet you're a team.
Yet you're supposed to be part of the team. That's why some churches, when instrumentalists leave, there is really a
vacuum.
Gap, a vacuum. Like, what happened to the band? What happened to this church? That kind of thing. So it keeps happening. Now, this is what happened to me when I was out there. I reached there, and they used to pay me well, by the way. I could just play drums, and I get some good money. But time came, because the seed was in me, the spark. I talked about the spark. And the Lord spoke to me, told me, Ivan, go back to your church. You have not yet grown. You need to grow. So, because of obedience, like you said, that being righteous and holy and hearing the voice of God, I decided to come back to church. And trust me, when I came back, I grew. I am no longer who I used to be. I understand things differently, and I know how to deal with the challenges that overcome the instrumentalists.
I would love to keep going on with that conversation, but let's hear something from you, and then we will continue this conversation as we try to understand. So, Director. Surely you have something of it.
You may help us sing.
I sing?
Yeah, as we play.
I will try.
You know this song, Jehovah is your name?
Yes, sure. different talents that the Lord has put in our hearts, but we need to continue the conversation.
Yes.
So Jesse, it is your turn to tell me something. I have always had this challenge, especially amongst the young Christians that are talented, that play instruments, and they all desire to make ends meet. So what is your opinion on doing ministry in church and doing gigs, and which some of are necessarily Christian? It's a slippery place, but we need to have a clear ground because we are doing ministry for the Lord. I can see you looking.
That is a very interesting question. And this is my opinion.
Okay. Make sure you're not in trouble with the director after this.
I think that is a very tricky situation for instrumentalists generally. I think you all agree. It's really tricky.
Yeah.
Because usually it is hard to differentiate for instrumentalists to differentiate between their ministry and their artistry, which are two different things, but they could be the same. So let me first demystify this. An instrumentalist is supposed to be born again. If you're doing ministry in church, you're born again. So if you're born again, it does not differentiate you from a worship leader who stands in front here to sing. As a matter of fact, you are a worship leader if you play instruments in church. Yeah. So I wonder if any of you have heard of the 10,000 hour rule.
Educate us.
It is something that people have done research that for someone to be good at something, they need to have at least 10,000 hours at that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
that means 10,000 hours at doing something constantly.
That's over a period of time.
That's a lot of sacrifice. Yeah, and it is usually hard for someone to put in that much sacrifice, and they're not expecting to earn money from it. So it is both. If you're doing it in church, it's both ministry, but it's also artistry. So to me as an instrumentalist, it serves to my advantage if I am serving God with my gift and earning money out of it.
Okay.
See, because it's a form of livelihood. God has given me this talent, and if I don't use it to make myself better and to serve Him, then I am either not doing justice to myself or the other. But here is where it gets tricky. That being a Christian, you're supposed to have values. So you don't do it wherever there is money. Wherever there is money, I will go and offer my services.
That applies to all Christians, not only instrumentalists.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the trick about it is where you put your artistry to serve God, but to benefit you as well as an artist. Yeah. So to begin with, like I said, you're supposed to be born again. Being born again, you're supposed to have values. You're supposed to know who you are as an instrumentalist. What is your calling? Where are you called to serve as an instrumentalist? So if I am playing in church, I am committed to playing in church. That is my service to God. Now, if on a random day a friend of mine calls me and he has a Christian concert, I will go and do it because I will be serving God with my talent, and at the same time,
So what happens
I'll
if
be
it's otherwise?
If it is otherwise, then you're crossing the line because you are Christian.
I just wanted that you are crossing the line if otherwise.
Director should.
Okay, as I said in the beginning, it is a skill. And in church we have so many people with different skills.
Yeah.
And they also get temptations like we do get as instrumentalists. There are those ones who just imagine that you are maybe a driver as a skill, and someone wants you maybe to drive maybe a product that is against the Bible. Tugambe walagi. You are saved, your business is
Requires you to do what
drive walagi from somewhere to a certain bar. Yeah, but you're saved. You find that it is tricky. When we take it to the prostitutes, they can use their bodies to get money.
I get your point.
So when you get saved, it is always a sacrifice to serve God. This is where many instrumentalists don't get it right. they take this as a business or a way,
A means of
a means
living.
of getting money.
Mm.
Yet our ministry should be a sacrifice you give to your God,
Yes.
using your talent. So you should know where to stop.
You should
Without
have.
this talent, can you go even beyond? You can even decide to use this talent in a shrine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some drums.
But you as an instrumentalist, you should know where to stop. Your limit.
Mm.
Your limit. In everything has a scope. You should have a scope. A Christian instrumentalist must have a scope. Christian scope where he does his sacrifice, not business. Whatever they are giving you in church, it's not like they are paying you. Maybe they are supporting you, facilitating you to do the work of God. But at the end of the day, it is sacrifice. You're serving God, but you know what a sacrifice takes.
Yes, there's pain in there.
It's pain.
Mm.
And who pays? God himself.
Yes.
So, for me, I'm not that instrumentalist. Okay, maybe some years before I understood God, I used to complain, but nowadays I understand. My ministry or my music, whether I get money or not, I don't focus so much on that money. Because it is sacrifice. Like anyone in the choir, we have dancers, we have backups, we have leads, we have technical people, camera people. But we should always focus on our ministry as a sacrifice. And we sing those songs. We bring sacrifice of praise. Some of us don't understand what we really do sing, but that's what it takes. Yeah.
I like to focus on that because there's a scripture that says, I'm paraphrasing because it's my own words, but from a scripture where the Lord, if you go about his business, you will go about your business. So if he has called it a sacrifice, but surely if you're doing what the Lord requires of you, you cannot reach the point of lack. I have come to understand, I know it's a process for everybody,
Yes.
but with time, you will come to understand that when you do it with one heart and do it for the Lord, he surely does so many things for you. But it looks like there's a few opinions. I'll let you say something.
Well, this is my understanding about
Gigging.
gigging. Thank you, brother. Because doing gig, I would understand it like this. Supposing as I'm a minister here, I do my ministry at this church, and I'm accountable. Understand? Now, after a time, a friend of mine or someone gives me a call. You know what, Jimmy? Yes, I would want you to come and play for me this instrument at my church. Why am I saying at my church? Because you will not call me the bar and I come. I will not come. Because I have boundaries. I'm born again, and my God is jealous. He's a jealous one. So I will not come in the bar. Whether it's a coyote, whatever, I can distinguish. You understand? We have them, and many of you know them out there. So you cannot call me there, and I come. So this is what happens. When you call me, I do ministry at my church, and I'm accountable. So if you're taking me from my church, it might cost you something, because if it is ministry, I'm satisfied at my church.
Okay. That is.
You understand?
Yes.
I'm doing ministry at my church.
Yes.
So if you want me out, so I'm coming to do something like a gig, it will cost you some. You understand me? Do you get me, people?
Yes.
You think you do? Yeah, because if it is ministry, let's understand this. I'm contented, and I'm not complaining.
Yes.
I do it at my church fully and faithfully. So if you want me to come to your church, at least you will do something, because after all, I will need to buy a new shirt also.
Yes.
An example, I'm married. I have a wife, and by the way, we are just gotten a baby boy. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. Now, supposing I have that family, I still have to take care of it. I'm from ministry at my church,
And there's a
then
landlord
you're
who knocks.
taking me. You will have to do something. Whatever you want to call it. But that would be a gig, you understand? I will not, since I'm a born again and I'm doing it in church, I will set my boundaries. I will not go into a couch church, and I will not go into a bar, or there is a big concert for secular musicians. However good I am, I will not come to such places.
Okay, now,
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
Okay, now this is what happened to me personally. There's a friend of mine. He's a very prayerful person, very prayerful. So it so happened that he could pray throughout the week, and on Sundays, the guy would never be in one church. He can play 1 hour in this church, the next hour is in another church, and the other hour is in another church. So by the end of the day, he has played in like 4 churches, different times. Yes. So one time, this friend of mine calls me and tells me, "Man, Ivan, there is this thing we have to do. There's a gig in some church, but man, somehow I don't understand it, but there is good money." By that time, I was very broke. I was looking for money. I was looking for money to buy some courseworks and, do photocopies of, that kind of thing. And so I go to this place. And immediately my spirit is like, you are in a wrong place. So I was there playing the drums, and then a voice spoke inside of me. Like, I'm going to say this in Luganda. Sebo kakati Ivan oli musabo oli mukuwunya ngoma wote. Bali we basamira go wunya olumala okomewo yeno ne wangi. That one shook me. And I was like, no. I told my friend, even if we play for 1 hour and we get 70,000, this is my last gig here. I am done. And by the time I left that place, it's like as if part of my life
was heavy.
Like as if something was dying inside of me. And I said, I am not going back to this situation anymore. That is why when you were to call me for ministry, like he said, from my church, and I like the way he put it, if you're calling me from my church, I will not tell you, I want this money, I won't. But still, remember, I am contented where I am. If you need my services elsewhere, you have to pay for them.
Okay.
Yes. You have to, much as I'm also going to minister there and praise and worship God, because I made a covenant, I'll never sing to any other person or anyone but my God alone. If you need me outside my church, you will pay. Now, Faith, I want us to continue on a point where instrumentalists, they have a Christian wedding gig and they play secular music there. Let's go that direction.
Before we go there, Director, I wanted to say something.
Okay, I wanted to add on what he has said. Being a musician, as I said, so it's a skill, and you can use a skill to earn some money.
Yeah.
So what we should do, you must know the limits.
Yes.
For me, in addition to playing in church, I teach music in schools, in homes, but still I play in church.
Yes.
If you can use your skill or your talent anywhere else, but you must have limits.
Yes.
Yeah. A school, for example, a school, there's nothing wrong with a school. A wedding, there's nothing wrong with a wedding. You can earn some money. You can even charge as much as you want.
Yes.
Yeah. You're using your skill to earn some money.
Yes.
But when things crosses the line, like going to the shrine or the
Things
bar,
reverse,
workout, or money will always drive you.
Mm.
Uh, anyway, I've been playing instruments for many years, and there is always that pull for an instrumentalist to move away from his church. It's just little. They take you maybe to a wedding, then eventually you end up in a bus somewhere. Some people are there, they never planned it.
Or a secular concert, a big one,
Yeah,
a massive one.
With a powerful secular artist with a very big name. Those people you used to see on TV, you find yourself rubbing shoulders with the big people, and you're deceived that you've reached. But for us, we reach only when we have achieved our goal, which is heaven.
Yes.
That's when we can say we've reached. People have got money, they have moved countries, the whole world, and they end up so empty, no happiness. They have learned, people who are in church and they were dragged out slowly by slowly like that, they have acquired so many habits they never thought of. You find someone who was born in the church.
Drinking.
This has affected so many pastors' children, those who play instruments.
Yeah.
Some of them fail to know where to stop, and they end up in things they don't understand. So as a musician, you must always before you play instruments, you must know, why am I playing instruments?
Yes.
Am I saved like other people? Or for me, I'm accompanying them. I'm accompanying the saved people. I play for them. Piano when they are giving, when they are praying, I play for them. When they are moving out, I pray for them. I play for them. So we should also be saved. We should be prayerful people. We should be giving people. We should be pure people. Yeah, there are so many things we've put ourselves in, and we have so many instrumentalists who are really compromising with the world, and it is a very dangerous thing, because the devil is not sleeping.
Yeah, actually that scripture is in Ezekiel 37. Yes, whereby that God is telling you not to play with the devil. He's not your pet, that he will come and lick you and like, oh, my pet. He will bite you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
When you least expect.
Joseph, do you have something to say?
For the time being.
We are going to do the last question, because we yes. So I haven't let the youngest members of the team say something. Let me ask them the basics. I understand he's in senior 3. So I'm going to ask you something basic. How do you balance between going to school, I know you're in day school, and also doing ministry? Is it possible?
Yeah, it's possible to me.
Yeah, it's possible.
It's possible because, however, it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy, and it's a bit challenging. Because at times you are released very late from school, and then you have to come here for practices, which are usually at night, around 7 something, and then you just reach here very late, and then remember you're tired, and you have to come for practices. However, it's challenging. Yeah. But since I have the passion for the ministry, I managed to be here in time, make it in time, and you should love what you're doing, because the love for what you're doing enables you to make time of it.
Guys, I'm inspired by this child. Yes, it definitely does.
Yeah.
Thank you, and that's very true. When you love something, you make time for it. I know we do not have so much time, but now that we have made time for it, let's listen in to one last thing as we say bye to you there. And I hope you've picked something, because there is always something to learn. Like they have said, when you love something, you make time for it. But as an instrumentalist and a Christian person, you are born again. So the purpose of it is to be saved, serve the Lord, and let him do the rest for you. Thank you so much for joining us from the Redeemed Instrumentalist team. Thank you, and let's say bye to them. Hey!
Just a small thing, eh? Instrumentalists that are watching us and you're not yet born again, please get born again. Because it is very bad to cook good food for people of which you're not going to taste. Better taste.
Okay, so test the food
Wow.
from us here. Thank you and have a blessed day.